So listen, Kenny. This is a boring ass week.
Yeah, it's very boring.
I mean, we touched on the NBA Finals on pre-show, but I mean that's pretty much all that's happened. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning for winning the Stanley Cup, but that happened like a week ago.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were a team until I seen that. Like
Kenny.
Don't watch a lot of hockey.
Yeah, fair enough. What else? My fucking Gators lost earlier today, so I'm not happy about that.
I'm pretty sure LSU lost too.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we're not good anymore.
And
it was nice though, you got a championship with Burrow, that's all that matters.
Yeah, true. And then Atlanta's going to proceed to embarrass themselves for yet another week tomorrow. So
yeah, we play Pittsburgh tomorrow. So
I honestly could give a shit less about sports in general this week. Sports entertainment, however, is a different story. Yeah, pretty entertaining week. However, my thing is this. I've been not busy, but I haven't, I guess you could say, thought about the show this week, which is quite unusual for me. But what I mean by that is that, again, I honestly didn't give a shit about sports this week. And as far as wrestling went, I pretty much told myself, look, there's no way I can take notes because I'm watching these shows in real time. So could we do something new and just cover the week in wrestling and the good stuff that happened. So there's that.
Correct.
Yeah, I got nothing. So that being said, live via satellite, it is Gorilla Gang Podcast. I am your empathetic yet foul-mouthed half of the show. Ginsburg's favorite son, young raspy god, Carlos Crawford, a.k.a. Searching for My Smile. It's Chin Music Charlie, a.k.a. Thick Flair. I've seen better on the backside of the worst days of my life.
Okay.
a.k.a. Snack Miller. If I would have done my schoolwork, I could have been an Oklahoma Sooner with a golden retriever I named Cooper, a part-time of Kruger's, working on securing me a future, the American dream. I literally fucked that up because the lyrics does not say Kruger's, it says Brugger's. How do you possibly fuck that up? A.k.a. Gelato Graham. Me running is as rare as my doobie running. A.k.a. Ricky Spanglish. He snitched on my uncle after they robbed the bank. I want his head. Ricky
Spanglish. That's the best part. You whisper his name.
A.k.a. the Idiom Savant. We're far from a dime a dozen podcast, Kenny. We prove that weekly. That's it. Dime a dozen. A.k.a. Trill Mascaras. Man with no face. A.k.a. Shit, I was not ready for this A.k.a. Man, this is much more powerful stuff than I thought it was. That being said, A.k.a. Haystack West. Before you cajole me, Haystack, give me a minute to figure out how we're gonna get this. We're ankle cuffed in a line, Mama. We're gonna need a miracle. Speaking of miracles, quick, find the keys of one of these bastards, you assholes. Right, Sheriff, where do you usually keep the keys? Right, belt. Yes! Terrific. Now get us the hell out of these cuffs. And why hasn't bullets started flying in our directions? We're here to help you out. Do you know your way around here? Just about. My name is Pierre. I and my comrades are from Haiti, but we too were arrested upon arrival. This island is ran by that man Jose Chavez, and he is essentially enslaving this island's citizens for his sugarcane empire. My comrades and I have been setting up to destroy this dictator for the last few months. I'll tell you what, we'll gladly help you guys bring this pecker down if you can help us get out of here. Moose. Well, you know what to do. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What a weird way to introduce myself. That's fine. My name is Kenneth Whitaker, aka Henry Soul, the original the Millennial Falcon. That's what I hear every time I fly my ship.
Not this? What the fuck? Hey!
No, I hear that when I'm drinking at the cantina, reminiscing how I killed Han Solo.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
AKA the Last Black Jedi, you will show me that wop, wop, wop. That's a wet, wet, wet. Listen, you know, she's not married no more, so, you know.
Fair game?
Fair game. AKA Mr. Ghost Slick Vodka. Oh, you told him. Told me what? Well, you have to tell him now. Seth, what's the big deal? Me and Evan moving together in Dartmouth. Oh my God, this look was with Evan. Jeez, why don't you go cry about it?
Get the fuck out of here.
What happened?
Number 2 Alabama and Ole Miss tied at 42 with 11:31 to go in the game.
Yes, the Alabama.
This weekend has been the Twilight Zone.
Right.
Any given Saturday, Kenny. Any given Saturday.
That's what happens. AKA the American Scale Buster Rhodes. Big Flair. I'm not just gonna act like you didn't talk about me last week, Flair. What you need to know is the American Scale Buster Rhodes is a working man, and he's for the people, by the people, doing what the people need him to do. So when you step in that square circle, Daddy, just know that my belly's a little bit big, and my honey just be a little bit big. But if they bad, I'm bad, and they know I'm bad.
Still coattailing, I see.
You did it, bruh. AKA, not your man, I'm a savage. Ooh, yeah. See, one thing I need to talk to you about, me, Gene, is that I need to address some comments from the Thick Boy Thick Flair, because Thick Flair came to my wife Elizabeth. Yeah. One thing you don't need to know, Thick Flair, is that the Nacho Man is always 10 steps ahead, me, Gene. They think the Nacho Man is a bit eccentric, but the Nacho Man knows how to handle foes like Thick Flair, yeah. And that's take what they love most, and that's the WWF belt, yeah. But when the Nacho Man reaches the top rope, when he reaches that pinnacle, and the Nacho Man comes down hard with an elbow drop right to the heart of Thick Flair, it's gonna be such a sight to behold, because the Nacho Man will be your new WWF champion, and once he becomes the WWF champion, Gene, he knows the thoughts are going to come in abundance, yeah. But the Nacho Man knows that any thought that comes in his way is getting kicked out. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Nacho Man, I'm a Savage, headed to gorilla position. Back to you, Bobby.
Put that down, yeah. Oh my goodness. AKA the very sexual, the very tight.
Very tight, yes.
Austin Powers Faja.
Wait, is Faja?
Dad is Faja.
Oh. Father.
How about you don't, Scotty? How about you don't? How about you don't? How about you don't? How about you?
Ladies and gentlemen, Scotty don't.
Scotty don't. Oh man, that my friend.
Got some more Scotty.
It's hilarious. Hey, Vincent Kennedy Black Man. Yeah, now that I'm back and better than ever, I've had a few stunners and I've turned the light in the air in my wings. So because of that, I'm going to go back to what made me the best owner in the business. So get Roman Reigns, get Jey Uso, get Jimmy Uso, get The Rock, get all those Samoans, and we're going to have ourselves a 2-on-2 Samoan bulldozer match. And it's going to take place where, Carlos?
Hell yeah, in your office. I'm fired up.
In my match. This bulldozer match. It's not going to be who's the strongest or who's the tribal chief. It's going to be the one and only one man that is man enough to be the ultimate kiss my ass member, because The Rock does it very well. And so does Roman. And so does Jimmy and Jay. But there can only be one supreme ass kisser. We are back. He said, hell yeah. You're off.
I'm no longer fired up.
And the piece de resistance. This idol. And some ice cream. And some chocolate. It's going to be on a pole.
I don't want to watch this fucking match anymore.
You don't want Samoan bulldozers on a pole, Carlos.
That doesn't get any more Vince McMahon-y than anything in the world. Than get me fired up for who's going to be in the match, and then just let me to fuck down the stipulations.
Put it on a pole and watch magic happen. Just like those strippers I brought home to Linda. Go ahead, push the button.
Yeah. I think that's worthy. I think it might be worthy of that.
Strippers, and strippers. Where's Trish Stratus?
Okay. See? You almost got away with it with the strippers.
Trish, get on all fours and bark like a dog. He said, get on all fours and bark like a dog. Jesus Christ. And this was on TV, and she was all cute, barking, woof, woof. Like, that's not.
That happened.
Yes, it did. Skibbo. Let's think this thing works.
That happened.
Yes, it did happen.
Jesus.
Los, I do have a question for you, though.
Sure.
Are you Hogan? Are you Hogan? Are you Hogan? Are you Hogan?
No.
Oh God, Skibbo.
I love that fucking podcast, bro. I am a deadlockite, dog. I'll say it on this podcast. I am a deadlockite, like a motherfucker, bro. This motherfucker is stupid. It said Stephanie was they had Stephanie backstage testing out the lie detector test. It said Stephanie was taking liberties.
Oh my goodness.
I said, no, are you Stephanie McMahon? Yes. It's like, do you cheat out on your taxes? Scheme out. I guess we're done here. The motherfucking when they were doing the actual lie detector test, though, that shit had me in tears, bro. Dog, I gotta send you the video of this shit because the video is what makes the fucking like conversation in the podcast even funnier. Like they have this dude like edit the parts that they were talking about in that episode. So like when they're talking about it, this shit's in real time. Oh my god. That shit had me crying, bro. So they were talking about the little like lie detector test jump. It was like, oh yeah. Also, shout out to the overhead shot of the lie detector test. It was like, yeah, what lie detector test dings or buzzes like a game show. It was like a close up with the overhead shot. It was like, wait a minute, was Vanguard 1 there back then? Dude, Post goes, that was Vanguard 0. They were going crazy back then.
Oh my goodness.
So that joke had me crying, bro. Hey, but nah, we do gotta like review
episode of like SmackDown or Raw. That
yes, because because listening to that podcast and also going back personally and watching like old like
I was about to say we could do that with like old pay-per-views too.
Yeah, if not old full episodes, like old, segments or matches. And dog, the Attitude Era was a funny ass time.
Man,
the Ruthless Aggression Era, though, I don't think we what's the word? I think we took the Ruthless Aggression Era for granted. I think I can safely say that.
Well, that's because it gave us Cena. So
no, not even that. Because all right, given the outlook that these motherfuckers have given me on that era, like, no, that was just a funny ass time. Like, that was funny as shit, the Ruthless Aggression Era. And I didn't realize how funny it was because I was just caught up on how corny I thought it was. But looking back at it, that like 2001 to like 2008 was funny as shit. I thought the Attitude Era was funny. And these motherfuckers have made me realize, son, the Ruthless Aggression Era had some moments, my guy. Then not only that, Eddie Guerrero, whose birthday was Wednesday. No. Friday, yesterday. Actually. Eddie Guerrero, he was just like the epitome of the energy of that show from a like comedic standpoint. Cause Eddie was just on point comedically at all times. I can't remember a time where Eddie didn't do something that was intended to be funny, but it wasn't funny. I can't. And not only that, like this motherfucker had a signature con. Like he would do it in matches, if not on a consistent basis, more often than not. Like It was called the smoking gun, if you recall, Kenny. And what Eddie would do, and there are variations of this, of course, but what Eddie would do was when the ref was incapacitated or just simply distracted and not looking, Eddie would go grab a weapon and he would, if not actually strike his opponent with the weapon, he would notice that the referee is getting ready to bring his attention back to the match. He'll slam the chair or, bell, what have you, drop it, and immediately fall to the ground as if he was the one that was hit with the weapon. but to add insult to injury, he would hit the weapon on the ground or whatever. It would get the referee's attention, like he'd perk up, and Eddie would immediately toss it to his opponent as he dropped down, making the opponent look like, I just hit this motherfucker. Whatever. Yeah, it was awesome. And you know what? Probably the funniest version of that joke was when he was fighting Kurt Angle one night. And Kurt had him in an ankle lock. And the ref, of course, is in front of Eddie and Kurt executing the ankle lock. Well, Eddie reverses said lock by, flip tumbling and pretty much like, bicycle kicking Kurt into the referee, right? So getting up and realizing that the referee was incapacitated, Eddie had this thing where he would look at what's going on in the ring at the moment and kind of slightly break the fourth wall and kind of, if not look into the camera, look up to the crowd with like this sly smile on his face. Like he know he about to be up to no good. And he proceed to go about the smoking gun trick. So he smiles to the camera as if he's up to no good. Jumps outside, grabs a chair, right? Well, first, he and I'm about to bring up a name that you haven't heard in years. That's another thing about the ruthless aggression. A lot of names that hasn't been uttered in years, my guy. In years. So realizing that, the referee is incapacitated, he has this sly look on his face. He goes over to ringside and vaulting crossbodies Luther Reigns. Remember Luther Reigns, Kenny?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's a name you never heard in years, Bob.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. So he crossbodies Luther Reigns, right? Hops back up, goes and grab a chair from ringside, from the announcer's table. Slides back in. Kurt, at this point, is hit. Like, he's had this done to him before. So when Eddie gets back in, they have like a bit of a struggle, right? In which Kurt isn't having it and takes the chair. Eventually, he takes a chair and throws it out of the ring, right? So when he throws the chair out of the ring, fucking the referee perks up and turns around. And as he turned around, Eddie drops to the ground, drops to the canvas, right? So now, Kurt and the referee, they have a full-blown argument over what just happened. So Kurt trying to plead his case, no, I threw the chair out of the ring to avoid the situation from happening. So the referee was like, well, if that's the case, why is he on the ground? So as they arguing back and forth, right, Eddie's still on the mat laid out, and like he get up and like kind of like lay like this As if, yep, you know what's about to happen next. So when the referee turned back to him, he go like this. Hey son, that joke had me crying laughing, bro. That probably was one of the funniest things ever. Like he was the king of the con. Like
Eddie is dope, bro.
Eddie was dope, but like, like they had moments like that, bro. And then not only that, if I'm not mistaken, 2000, 2001, those were the years where The Rock and Chris Jericho separately and then eventually collectively proceed to go in on Stephanie McMahon.
You dirty, disgusting, bottom feeding trash bag. Oh,
bro, they were going in on Stephanie. And we're being honest, like I can't really 100% remember why she, what grounds she committed to being called such names. Well, Kenny, let's recap. She was supposed to marry Tess that one time, right?
Yes.
And then she didn't. Why, Kenny?
You're looking at the new Mrs. and Mrs. Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Ah, that's right. Roofied her. And,
wow.
And
that happened on TV. He drove around.
The situation gets a buzzer, but that really happened on TV. With that being said, so she ended up marrying Triple H. Then, you know, she started dressing scantily clad after that point.
Yep, had the cleavage just up to here.
Oh yeah, then she got a new boob job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that those are grounds to call her a hoe. Good boy. I might have been a little too far. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? Just a little too forward. A little too much. Now, I don't know what the exact word would be for her, but you know, maybe a female dog.
Maybe.
But skank. Oh. Nonetheless, they were talking about that one time. This is all. That's the crazy part about it, dog. Well, not the lie detector test, but they were talking about one episode. Oh, actually, TLC 3. That episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Paul. He was telling James and Tony how like fluid that episode of SmackDown was, because it's like they didn't have commentary slowing it down. They didn't have, you know, any real breaks in action other than the, you know, little slam of the night or
stuff like that.
Yeah, that was essentially it. But then
brought to you by Stacker T.
Yeah, but they have, you know,
feel the sting.
They have commentary, you know, talking to try to like fill in any blanks or anything like that. You know how like they have Jim Ross and King, just, you know, a shot of them talking before they go into the next segment. They had none of that. Like it was all completely fluid. Then not only that, and he pointed out that this was, you know, how they were doing things at that time, and it was like dope as shit. But they had everything working around what was the main thing that was promoted for the night.
I want to stop you for a second because I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of ties into this.
All right.
Don't you wish you could be the king of energy? I'm sorry. I had to stack it two songs.
You certainly did not have to.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You know you like to stack it two songs. Catch the buzz and feel the sting.
I was hoping like hell you didn't remember that shit.
No, I remember it, my guy. God. Don't you want to embrace raspberry? That's before he was making Judas.
Man, not every Fozzy song's a banger. You know what I'm saying? That goes to show you.
That was Catch the Buzz and Feel the Sting.
That was a remix of a song. That's the crazy part about it. But yeah, Post saying like everything was circle or built around the main event for the night, which was a TLC 3. And even in between the segments of the show, which was also an awesome show, it was, all essentially centered around the competitors of TLC, of that, main event for the evening. You know what I'm saying? Like all the storylines, well, most of the storylines and such, all centered around people that were either involved in that match or were involved with the people involved in that match. So,
Stacker 2?
Huh?
Like Stacker 2 and Fozzy?
Kenny, I'll fight you. So,
why you gonna fight me about Stacker 2, bro? They don't even exist anymore.
Because you're not gonna let this shit go.
I'll let it go. I just like to bring up. I just like to bring up Stacker 2s, bro. I feel like Stacker 2s aren't appreciated enough, bro.
Kenny, I'm gonna give you how many more times you're gonna say Stacker 2 in the rest of this episode.
No, I'm not. After this convo about Stacker 2, I'm not bringing it up.
And I'm gonna say 1 over.
What number do you have? Like after this, I'm not bringing it up again. I just think it's a funny. Like we're reminiscing about the Ruthless Aggression era. The Stacker 2 commercials were a part of the Ruthless Aggression era.
I would rather remember Stridex, my nigga.
I mean, it's not like you took a Stacker 2 or anything like that. So it's like I don't understand why you're upset. You can't tell me them jokes weren't funny.
No.
Them jokes made me laugh, bro. Whenever I seen that joke, especially
I'd either mute or change the channel whenever they
especially the joke where Timmy Laser come out. Yeah, look at the Stacker 2s, and you're like, boy, you're not selling me on
hated Stacker 2 commercials. At least Ico Pro commercials were like empty, so that shit was funny in that sense. Stacker 2 there was so much going on in those commercials. Why was there so much going on?
Yeah,
it's just
like
cat burning pill.
They were selling steroids on TV.
Essentially. That's another thing.
Like this, take these steroids. I mean Stacker 2.
Those things are poison.
They are.
Like fat burning supplements, those are sketchy business because they could be high in caffeine. And too much caffeine at once in your body could, fuck you up. So, where was I? So like there were a number of things happening that night, and where they essentially started the discussion of that episode was with fucking Spike Dudley. Oh my goodness, and I completely forgot about this part. But this motherfucking Spike Dudley, like. Kurt Angle was talking to Molly Holly, right? Spike Dudley pop up out of nowhere, like, yo, that's my girl, whatever. So,
not to cut you off.
What?
I was gonna say, guess what's in my cup? But I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because then you'll be right. And I want to make you right. So never mind.
whack. So that was before I was brought up to a letdown. But yeah, so like Spike pull up like, yo, that's my girl, what? But how they presented this shit, and that's another thing. That's so funny about these movies. Like how they present this shit is in ways that it didn't happen that way, but it would have been funnier if it happened that way. You know what I'm saying? So like he's like, Kurt was talking to Molly Holly, was like, yeah, why Spike Dudley? He's a fucking loser. He was like, Spike Dudley pulls up out of nowhere and asks my girl, he's like, what are you talking about? It's like, I'll beat your ass right now. It's like, as a matter of fact, I'll walk you to the ring. And as they explain it, the video is going on and like kind of fast forwarding to them walking to the ring. He's like, and they literally walk from backstage through the audience into the to the ring. It's like they didn't cut away or anything like that. And when they got to the ring, Kurt Angle just beat the shit out of Spike Dudley. It's like literally how they presented this shit though. He was like, and when they got to the ring, like because it was still in the little process of walking into the ring, it immediately cut away to this and Kurt Angle belly to belly and the shit out of Spike Dudley. Oh, I should be howling. Oh man, but yeah. Then the fucking Steve Blackman and Trish Stratus part with the kendo stick and the little like bit where they're behind the little curtain and she's talking about the kendo stick, but it's a euphemism for his dick. And then
wow,
fucking Brian Christopher dances his ass on in and here's this going on, these euphemisms, and he's like, yowza, or whatever. Then like they go to the match against Right to Censor, and of course they beat Right to Censor, and they talk about how at the end they had Trish like dance with them or whatever, and Trish did the worm. Oh my god, they went the fuck in on Trish's worm. No. But I tell you, they said that shit was so awful. It's like then they had like the fireworks go off like she was supposed like that shit was going to be good. That should be crying, dog.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, we most certainly got to start doing that. Like,
we just need to like pick a old. I want to start with like a pay-per-view first. Let's just pick like an old pay-per-view and just find time to watch it. I promise I'll watch it once we pick it. And
it has to be a day where like we literally don't have shit to do.
Like
one of us hits the other up, and we're like,
we can call it retro pay-per-view Sunday review or something like that. I don't know. Maybe not define a name on air, but we could do something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I wouldn't mind that at all. So
the first one we should start with 1998 King of the Ring.
Honestly, I thought you were going to say another pay-per-view, and I was ready to jump at the buzzer.
What you thought I was going to say?
Well, you said 1998, and I just had a moment. It was like,
Oh no.
It's like,
I think I know what you're talking about. No, we're not doing
Please don't say Over the Edge. Please don't say Over the Edge. I'm begging you, don't say Over the Edge. If you say Over the Edge,
I saw it. Like, once you say that's not what I'm talking about.
That's how we're going to start.
You can't look at that anyway on the network. They took that out.
They officially took it out?
Yeah, they've been editing that out once the network came up there. They wasn't going. WWE, let me tell you something.
Nah, because I heard that
for all the stuff that we give WWE, they're not stupid. They would not put that on a network for people to go back and watch that.
Well, obviously you'd have to YouTube it. But or like
I don't think it's on YouTube. I think they took it off YouTube.
You can find it somewhere on the internet.
The only way you're seeing it is if you're watching Dark Side of the Ring.
No, not even that. If you look in the right place, you can find it.
Don't tell me you went to look for it.
No, but it is the internet.
That's sad though, bro. Like I wouldn't want to watch that. As a matter of fact, if I
Hearing
recall,
about it sounds like gruesome.
I think I saw that live on pay-per-view.
See, it was the pay-per-view that I was like, I'm not really big on the card, so I could care less about it.
See,
I come to school the following morning to that news.
Back then, that when I went to see that, I was really, really hyped about wrestling. So I like begged my dad to get that joint for me. That's because I was wanting to watch pay-per-view because they was hyping it up. And you know, back then in those days, Sunday Night Heat would give you like the precursors to the pay-per-view.
Exactly.
And I wasn't even thinking about the pay-per-view until I started watching Sunday Night Heat that day.
So this is a whim you ordered this pay-per-view.
Yeah, on a whim, I was like, Dad, please.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That literally ruined wrestling.
He was like, you know what? You've been doing good in school. You know what I'm saying? I'll get this pay-per-view for you.
What the hell? And then you had to watch that live.
Yeah, my thing was, and I was like, had to be like 7, 8.
Yeah, my thing was I watched the Go Home show on Raw and I was like, pass. Like, I'm not even going to like bother asking my mom or begging her or anything like that, like I usually would any other month, or like for Survivor Series or WrestleMania. I was like, there's no point. I was like, it's just going to be one of those pay-per-views where, you know, they're going to recap it for the most part on Raw Monday night anyway. So, you know,
I mean, they recap every pay-per-view on Raw, but it's the fact that you just wasn't.
Yeah, but that was my, you know, that was my scapegoat. It's like, we'll just watch the recap on Raw. Bro, I went to school the following morning, and usually people would clamor, like, because wrestling was still popular. We were still in elementary school at the time.
Yes.
And you know, all my friends would be clamoring about about the pay-per-view or whatever. And you know, they fill me in for the most part. Bro, I walked in during homeroom and it was just eerily quiet. And I'll never forget my man's Q. He goes, dude, did you hear? Did you watch the pay-per-view last night? I was like, nah, what happened? He was like, Owen Hart died. I'm like, what? What? Sorry, just imagine, you know, thinking that it's a regular schmegler day after the pay-per-view and this is the news that you get. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a shock. I didn't see it coming whatsoever. How? What? How? Why? How? What?
You know, when it was live, the thing that got me was like, Jay was like, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a wrestling event. This is not an act. This is not fake. This is a real.
Q told me that's when he realized something's wrong.
Yeah, because whenever they like, we're in a real situation. This is really happening. This is real life. This is not acting. This is not performance. I was like, oh.
And for a lot of people, for a lot of the, you know, people I like talked about wrestling with back then, that was one of the things that made people realize that wrestling's fake for the most part. Yeah. Or like they were pretty much being led on to think that all of it was real, when instead it's just, you know, choreographed and predetermined, but still dangerous. So that was the but still dangerous aspect of it. But not a lot of people thought of it like that. It made people go, well, if this isn't, you know, if that was real, if that was considered real, what I've been watching? And it causes people to go investigate, and they realize, so it's fake. And that's the conclusion they jump to. And at that point, I'm like, well, I'm not watching this anymore. They immediately lost interest. So it sucks. My thing was that made me realize, like, all right, wrestling is not real, but it's still dangerous. And so I kept watching. After that. And even there was a point when I was like, man, I don't feel like watching wrestling anymore. I still got to a point where I, on a whim, tuned into Monday Night Raw while I was watching like football one night, just out of like force of habit, and tuned in and saw some dope shit going on and stuck around for the rest of the episode. Didn't even watch the rest of the game. And then immediately got back into watching wrestling like on the usual basis. Because at that point, I was at the age where I was like, well, it's like a very violent soap opera. Yeah. Like, the shit can get gruesome at times. But for the most part, it's physical acting. It's very physical acting. And there's nothing wrong with that because these are still athletes that are executing moves that you can't safely do.
Correct. Because
there's still an aspect of
plenty of normal person that is not a professional wrestler that has tried to move and ended up paralyzed.
Exactly. There's still that aspect of what separates, the athlete from the regular average Joe. And that's the fact that I'm actually talented in what I do, and you couldn't do what I'm talented in because you're not athletic enough to do what I'm talented in. And even if you were athletic enough to do what I'm talented in, you have no idea how to execute it correctly.
You'd kill yourself. And honestly, I don't know how I didn't kill myself trying to do Stone Cold Stunners and rock bottoms and all kinds of dangerous shit on the playground.
Personally,
now, I have a story. I broke my left arm.
Oh, we talk wrestling injuries? Bet. Let's go.
I broke my left arm trying to be who? Shawn Michaels. Nigga, we was playing wrestling on the playground, right? So I hit her with the clothesline, had her stretched out on the ground. I climbed to the top of the monkey bars.
That's too high.
I was up there. I climbed to the top of the monkey bars. And I hit I was on because the monkey bars, they had the little things out, right? So I placed my foot on the thing, right? Did the HBK pose. Came up, did the whole little thing, like took the elbow and curved it up like this. This nigga moves. Boom! Right on the fucking pavement. Boom! And I'm like, oh!
The immediate shattering. No.
I boom, tuck it, and I grab it and roll. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, nigga, that was, to this day, the worst fucking pain I have ever experienced. And when you young, you're thinking, it's just a little sore. I just gotta sit down for a second. I sat down for a second. It stopped hurting. Okay, I'm good. I can play again, right?
Wrong.
I get to running, nigga, smack my arm, boom. Oh my God. I'm like, I gotta go to the nurse. I go to the nurse. She get to lift my arm. I'm like, stop that. What are you doing? Stop that. What are you doing? She's like, yeah, I gotta call your mom and dad. Your arm is broken. I'm like, broken? I didn't know I could break an arm. So I had to go to the hospital. I'm like, oh my God. I still can't lift this up. It's so bad.
Yeah. So
but, nigga, I got at that hospital, got a cast on my arm. They put my arm in the sling first. I came back to school the next day. I was like, God damn it.
Just tight. No elbow anymore.
But the good thing never did that shit again. But the good thing that came out with is had a lot of girls signing my cast and shit. It felt cool.
Awesome. Meanwhile, me,
I was mad they cut the cast. I was like, I gotta get the numbers off my cast.
You never thought that one through, did you?
No.
So me, right? We used to take the mattresses and bring them downstairs, and we sleep in the living room. We call it camping out. And like the following morning, we would already be downstairs, breakfast. My mom would be getting ready. We'd be woken up by the smell of the breakfast, and we'd watch cartoons and shit in bed or whatever. Well, this morning in particular, we started watching Superstars. So,
I remember that too.
So, us three, we had a replica championship belt that we would fight each other for, and low-key sanctioned matches, and whoever won was the title holder. The thing was, we had a 24/7 rule on it. So we could be challenged for it at any given moment. We were in the house minding our damn businesses. So Caleb is champion at the time, which I challenge him for.
I know if I was in your house, I would never want to challenge Caleb to any kind of wrestling match. He just looked like he would like really kill you.
Fun fact, I've never taken the championship from Kenneth, and I'm a 2-time champion. I'm just saying it can be done. So, with that being said, we're having a good match. It's going well. Essentially, the story is as usual. He's bigger than me, and I can't beat him. Well, we get to a spot where he has me on the top rope, which is the couch. And he puts me in an atomic drop from off the top rope. And literally, when I landed, all I heard was boom. That's the sound that I heard personally. It sounded like you ever had a Nintendo, Kenny?
Yeah.
You remember when you put the cartridge in and you just slam the door shut?
Yeah.
It essentially sounded like when the Nintendo door slammed shut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I immediately knew this bitch is broken. And I started screaming in pain. My mom's upstairs at this point, right? And my older brother, Caleb's trying his best to threaten to, shut me up. And
I think I heard the story before. Now that I'm listening to it again, I'm sure you told me this before.
Yeah, because then this asshole tried to get me to walk on it, and that wasn't happening. In which my mom screams from upstairs, "Caleb, what's going on down there?" He goes, "Nothing."
Yeah.
And again, tries to get me to walk again. Again, I'm screaming in pain. Finally, she comes downstairs and realizes what's happening, and immediately understands what's going on with as far as my case goes. I broke something. So yeah, I got to the hospital. Why? Because this is the first time I've broken something, Kenny, at that point. Why? When I was 3 years old, Kenny, I slipped on a crab apple and broke my leg while I was playing football with Caleb.
Jesus.
Yes. When I was maybe a couple of years prior to me breaking that leg in particular, not the one when I was 3, the one when I was 10 or 11, I had broken my arm falling off the monkey bars. So yeah, I've had a history. up to that point. So my mom knew what the routine was at that point. However, a few years later, Caleb's wrestling Kenneth. I'm in the shower. I get out of the shower. I'm drying up. All I hear is, ah! Mind you, we're at my grandmother's house. And my grandmother lived in like a little like one level home. It wasn't a trailer, but it like kind of, I guess you say, no, it didn't run like a trailer either. That jump, it was like, I guess you say, double wide, right? So like from the bathroom, you go maybe a little bit down the hall, and you can see what's going on. So I hop out of the bathroom, and I immediately walk into the recreational room, as my grandmother called it, to Kenneth's wrist like this. And I was like, oh no, that doesn't look ideal. Caleb, you're in trouble. I've got nothing for you, Pop. You're in trouble. Like, once Bob comes in the room, you're screwed, essentially. So, knowing that this isn't his first time around the block and knowing the end game and all this, he immediately starts apologizing profusely to Kenneth. Like, this is a bitch. I wish you'd apologize to me instead of trying to force me to walk, asshat. So, after that, Kenneth didn't cry on his way to the medical center, in which my grandmother's car like stalled out on them on the way to said medical center.
Jesus.
And Kenneth had to help them push the car to the gas station with a broken freaking wrist.
You're a broken freaking wrist.
Oh man, they came back and told me that story. Kenneth telling me that proudly. Kenneth telling me that shit proudly with a fucking castle. That shit was awesome. But it was at that point we realized Caleb is a terrible fucking worker. So my mom bought us the fucking Bash and Brawler.
Bro.
And we beat the shit out of those until like the fucking voice stopped working.
Bro, we just need to start our own.
That was
the soccer boppers used to pop so easy.
Getting my ass,
bro. We just
never been so fun.
We just need to start our own wrestling promotion, bro. We just need to do that. Like that just needs to happen. Save some money, maybe some years worth, buy space, find some teachers, get
yeah, they did. One haymaker.
Right.
Some promotion.
I don't know. We just need to just figure it out.
Well, here's where I gotta say the name to it, right? First and foremost, I personally know all of people that wrestles actually. You know what I'm saying? So now we got to recruit wrestlers. That's.
I mean, I'm just saying for the future. We ain't gotta do it now.
We gotta find production people because we're not good at shit. Then we got to find the money to pay
Stop thinking
these
about how
people
hard it'll be, bro. Just stop trying to put the
on a
stuff into it.
consistent or on an
Damn it,
annually basis. Yeah,
Damn it,
businesses
Carlos.
aren't all sunshines and rainbows and hard work. It's all hard work and hard work and hard work.
Damn it,
And,
Carlos.
and if you really want to, do it, you gotta do that shit big. And we're not at the point of doing it big. However, let's say one of us did win the lottery. You know what I'm saying?
Why you? Come on, bro.
Money wasn't an object.
Bro,
Money
all
wasn't
you
an
need,
object, Kenny.
bro.
And I actually
you
felt
need-
like, because we're at the point in the lives right now for like doing that shit.
Bro, all you need is an iPhone camera
No,
and a screen.
that's where people get the game fucked up. that's how businesses go tits up, Kenny. When people don't think shit through and try to do shit on the fly. So not everybody's fucking Bill Gates. So with that being said, if one of us were to win the lotto, or came up on some type of like wild ass inheritance of some sort, maybe we start putting up flyers. Maybe we start putting on ads on Facebook. Where's the venue going to be?
You know what?
Schlee Art Studios. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about dreams with you no more because you ruined them. Thanks.
You wildin'. This nigga try to do
Thanks.
what them niggas be doing on Twitter videos and shit.
You
Randomly
ruined
wrestling in
dreams,
restaurants
bro.
and shit.
You ruined dreams, bro. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for ruining dreams, bro.
Like I said, man, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna want to do it big. And
you know how lit it would be.
We're gonna, create a promotion. I'd want it to, immediately start with the superstars, not superstars, with talent that we can actually figure out ways to push. We want marketable talent. You know what I'm saying? We don't want just our friends. It scares the fuck out of me for being a realist, Kenny. Even my dreams have some real. Yeah, well,
man, whatever, bro.
All right, fine. Well, yeah.
Just do the 10 count and leave me alone. Shit. Fuck. Hate you sometimes.
I'll tell you, Kenny. Have this dream. You try to execute this dream and have no idea where to start. And once you figure out where to start, you decide it doesn't work out. Like I just want you to be prepared. So
sometimes you just gotta jump out on. Sometimes you just gotta jump out on faith and trust your instincts. Shit.
Count is brought to you by Kiki and Co Cupcakes. Why? Because I can't think. That's how I learned from me. So, what is it? The 10th? Yeah, today's the 10th. That contest is still going. So if you haven't, Instagram.com/KikiCo.desserts and follow the instructions. I'll start promoting other people's stuff as soon as I don't know, as soon as people tell me to do it. I don't know. These are for my friends, okay? All right. 10 count. So, number 1, Drake Maverick and Killian Dane's theme had me hollering, bro. Hollering, Kenny. Kenny?
Lord. think this joke may be delayed, bro, because I feel like it's coming a little delayed.
Don't it usually?
No, like, see, now I think it's on time. But when I was talking and telling you about the dreams, you were replying like mad late. I don't know if it's just you were just talking and not listening, or you were replying late, because it sounded like it'd be a little delayed.
A little column A, a little column B. But
you know what?
At any rate,
I'm so through with you. I'm not doing this shit.
I told you this at the pre-show. This is gonna be my energy tonight.
I'm so through with you, bro.
I gave you the disclaimer though. Like, I don't know what more you want from me, Kenny. At any rate,
I'm so through with you, bro. Just keep
Maverick,
going.
Drake Maverick and Killian Dame's thing heavy geek, because this was like, he was so excited to show Killian Dame this new theme song. I was like, yeah, we're gonna be cool, blah 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 blah. And it ended up being some like whack ass, like, it sounded like a goddamn kid song. It sounded like it was supposed to be in a children's song. And your man wanted to do a whole skip and everything. It's like Killian Dame wanted to whoop this dude's ass. Essentially, he got to. He ended up using Drake Maverick as an object of pain for their opponents for the night by power bombing Drake Maverick into their opponent as a like tag finisher / pin, which I thought that was pretty fucking baller, actually, given the circumstance. Number 2, Ember back. Huh? Yeah. Amber Moon is back. Doing terrible promos. They're still whooping ass in the ring. So, yeah. That was fun to watch. That was very fun to watch, actually. So, moving on. Yo. That dog collar match was the fade.
I heard some people say they actually didn't like it. They thought it was whack.
Well, that's because they're whack. They're no fun at parties. Kenny, that match was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Fucking
you don't gotta tell me. That was one of the bright spots of the show for me.
No doubt. Like, it was amazing. Lots of color was shown, Kenny. And we know that we enjoy color. We love blood. Why? That's what we grew up on when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of blood. Real gory death matches.
God is my witness. He's broken in half.
Yep. And things of that like. So, yeah, I personally thoroughly enjoyed it. Then not only that, they were using that chain as they were taking liberties with each other with that chain, man. Like, that shit was gruesome. And I enjoyed every moment of it that I watched as I was trying to flip back and forth between AEW and NXT, because while that was on, if I'm not mistaken, God, there was a good match that was going on. I completely forgot. At any rate, 30 Years of Jericho. That was fun. That was fun. We'll get into the promo in a second. However, that match with Luther and El Serpentico, bro, that match fucked hard, actually. Did you watch it?
Wait, what match you talking about again?
Chris Jericho and Jake Hager versus
yeah, I watched it.
Luther and El Serpentico.
Yeah, I watched it.
That was actually a pretty damn good match. And
really, it kind of felt flat to me. Only because it kind of felt flat to me. Only because it's like, you know what I'm saying? We know Jericho's going to win the match. It's 30 years Jericho, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like they could have built it a little more to make it more like suspenseful, especially because that's the main event. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to, like,
no way.
The dog collar match which is what y'all had in the middle of the card, shouldn't have been the highlight match for me, especially if it's 30 years Jericho. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have put Jericho in a match, something like, you know what I'm saying? Not in a dog collar match per se, where he could like really get injured or something, but put him against like Omega or something. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
in my opinion, I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's my opinion.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. It was I got the story of it, right? Here's the thing. You're doing a ceremony for 30 years of Chris Jericho. With that being said, if you're setting that ceremony to be after the match in which Jericho's the main eventer of, Jericho has to win that match, whether you like it or not. Right?
Right.
Now, with that being said, you can't possibly have Luther and Serpentico beat Jericho and Hagar at that point because that would crash the party of the celebration. However, what you can do is make it seem like they could possibly crash that party for a little bit until Jericho gets away with a fluke win. And it's protected as you know, it was a tough match. However, I came out with the W, and that's what this is all about. 30 years of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess. I was just expecting something more exciting.
The story aspect of it, I got. However, I also get what you're saying. Like, if you're going to do that, then at least make the match more suspenseful, as if like, yo, Luther and El Serpentico can legitimately crash this fucking party, and that could possibly open another can of worms. But
Right.
you know, I enjoyed it because these motherfuckers were really beating the dog shit out of Jericho and Hagar for a little bit. Like legitimately, like beating the absolute shit out. I think I became a Luther fan. Like, I'm telling you, that like me on point with the fandoms. Like, this was low key dope. Oh, also, speaking of that matter, they they have an ongoing gag, right? Where they believe that El Serpentico is David Arquette.
David
Right?
Arquette is the world champion.
This is about like around February or March. Like I'll listen to the older episodes to catch in order to catch up to where I'm at, where the new episodes are coming on Mondays, and I'll spend time while I'm driving at work doing that. So this is like around February or March or so, where they were talking about the documentary on David Arquette, and they had one of them had like a theory that David Arquette is actually El Serpentico, right? So they proceeded to run with this theory, and even like started asking El Serpentico on Twitter, right? So they got the one point was like, yeah, we figured out whether or not El Serpentico is David Arquette, or if David Arquette is El Serpentico. So I think it was John. He was like, well, John. John goes, well, I asked him on Twitter, and he was like, what? So Tony was like, he was like, so Tony was like, I don't know. And I asked him on Twitter, he was like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. So Post was like, I don't know, man. I asked him, are you El Serpentico? He refused. That might be the best response. So then it got to a point, right, where they got to the lie detector test episode. All right. In the midst of the lie detector test, or like while they were talking about the whole lie detector test bit, or after they were talking about it, they were like, yeah, man, we need to get El Serpentico to come on the show and do a lie detector test. At that point, these motherfuckers actually formally invited El Serpentico to come on the podcast and take a lie detector test. And when last El Serpentico accepted. So then, not only that, before the match, the 30 Years Jericho match, that week, Luther, actually acknowledged the Deadlock fans. And they're like multiple names for the Deadlock fan, the people that listen to Deadlock or whatever. Deadlockites, hog dippers. So he refers to them all pretty much like, I need all your energy to beat them Wednesday night. I was like, that's dope as shit. I want to be like that. I want to be at that point with this podcast where we have like actual famous people that are friends of this show.
We're gonna get there. But what number you at on the 10 count? I lost count. What number you at?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So number 5, Mustafa Ali is not only in Retribution. Mustafa Ali is the leader of Retribution, Kenny.
Yeah.
You're not going to say that you saw that coming. I refuse to believe
I did not. I did not see that coming. I'm not gonna fake like I saw it coming. I didn't see it coming. They actually got me.
Yeah.
For once in a very long time, they got me. I was not prepared.
Oh man. That was awesome. It was awesome. I was done too.
So also, awesome. Juan told me that. Hold on, wait. Also, Juan told me that it's gonna be Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso in a Hell in a Cell I Quit match.
That is correct.
Sign me up. I'm here for that.
You know what I'm saying? Bailey and Sasha are going to be in the Hell.
I really hope it don't let me down, though. I really hope it doesn't let me down.
One thing was brought to my attention: Sasha Banks is the only woman to be in every women's Hell in a Cell match.
Ooh, that's an accomplishment.
But here's the caveat: where we would think, well, now at this point, it's starting to become her like niche match, like how Hell in a Cell was the Undertaker's match, or the fucking TLC match was Edge and Christian and Dudley Boys and fucking Hardy Boys shit. You know what I'm saying? Ladder for the Hardys, chairs for Edge and Christian, tables for the Dudleys, so on and so forth. Or Inferno match for Kane. You would think that Hell in a Cell match is starting to become like Sasha's like go-to match for when she needs a big win. When in reality of it all, she has a losing streak in Hell in a Cell matches.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this would be the first time that she actually gets a legit run, because like,
she's the face.
It's really time for her to get a legit run.
She's the face getting revenge, right? And it is currently October. This rivalry can legitimately run fresh until WrestleMania, or at least the Rumble. But I think this could be a WrestleMania main event. I'm talking about, we get this Hell in a Cell match. Sasha actually takes the title from Bayley. Sasha has a run where she actually defends the fucking championship for once successfully. That goes into Survivor Series is next month. So she defends it at Survivor Series successfully. She holds on to the title until Royal Rumble, in which Bailey takes it back from Sasha, and they can let this shit run back and forth, or Bailey could try her best to like avoid Sasha Banks to a certain extent until WrestleMania. Like this could be played out many a way, but it can still be played out fresh until March and April. Why? Because this is what we all wanted. And if you can give us what we wanted, we'll eat that shit up for as long as you shove that shit in our mouths. That's just how it goes. And I hope WWE finally figures that shit out and finally, starts taking what the crowd wants and building upon it. And it's only hard in a sense of changing the plans that you already have for the entire year. Meaning the crowd can want one thing and you have a complete linear run of things going from like SummerSlam to goddamn WrestleMania. However, you get the SummerSlam and you realize the crowd likes something else about what you had planned. Now you got to change that plan up to accommodate what the crowd wants. And then on top of that, you got to make sure that what the crowd wants coincides with the plan that you initially had. That way, you're not completely restarting your plan from scratch. You're just plugging and playing. But then on the other aspect of that, sometimes you could tell when they've when they try to plug and play their storylines with giving us what we want. And sometimes, and it goes to the conclusion that sometimes it's not always what we want, it's what we need. However, sometimes what these motherfuckers need is what we want. So if you stand still, low key, if you stand still. So I'm just glad that in this case they actually paid attention to what we've been begging for, and they actually let the girls run that shit because it's working beautifully. With that being said, I kind of got to shift the entire list because that was supposed to be number 8. And well, here we are, number 6. What's now number 7? Buddy and Aaliyah are involved. I have mixed feelings about that because even though the storyline is pretty solid, it makes for good TV. Aaliyah is 19 years old, and it kind of feels like grooming.
Lord have mercy.
I'm just saying. Just saying. But all in all, it's a solid ass storyline. Like, I like it. And I like how Buddy Murphy is starting to gain some type of character arc of some sort. It's about fucking time. You know what I'm saying? He's not just a disciple. He's more than a disciple. And I'd like to see what, comes out of this storyline as far as his character arc goes. Number, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Number 8. We're getting a Halloween Havoc this year, Kenny.
Oh, we're getting a Halloween Havoc.
That's right. NXT is hosting it, and it will be hosted by Shotzi.
Lord.
My girl Shotzi, motherfucking Blackhot. She will be hosting it. Number 9.
It might be good.
Oh, it shall be good. Because In Your House was good. And if there's nothing that I haven't learned about NXT so far, them repackaging pay-per-views of yesterday have been Mwah. And it's exactly what we've been needing.
I miss the In Your Houses too, bro. In Your Houses were so
In Your House is my favorite pay-per-view out of all the pay-per-views. I am Mr. In Your House. Well, in universe mode.
In Your House is dope. I'm a King of the Ring guy. I miss King of the Ring.
Duly noted. But I don't lose In Your House as a character. Like In Your House happens in May of every year in my universe mode.
That's fine. I'm just telling you.
Just a fun fact. Number 9. The draft started on SmackDown last night, and nothing major. Storyline driven picks. So basically, everybody that is on another show that's in a storyline with people that are on SmackDown right now, they're being drafted to SmackDown in order to continue that storyline, so on and so forth. Bray Wyatt fought Kevin Owens, which was a good match. We don't hear that from Bray Wyatt a lot, but something somebody pointed out, it seems as if Bray Wyatt has good matches with Ring of Honor alumni. I said, well, you may have a point here. I'm noticing that trend as well. With that being said, we segued to 10. Bray no-sold Kevin Owens, and to be honest, I did not care for it. Like, I like Bray Wyatt, I like Kevin Owens. I did not like Bray Wyatt no-selling Kevin Owens. Yes, it was in the purpose of the storyline that, he's essentially terrorizing Kevin Owens, and he's like more powerful than Kevin Owens, so on and so forth. It's supposed to be Kevin Owens' worst nightmare. I get it. With the inclusion of Alexa Bliss playing to a bit of a power-up for Bray Wyatt, so it seems. I get it. However, Kevin Owens proceeded to host an entire super kick party, and Bray withstood that. There was a point where we got to the finish, and Bray puts him in the mandible claw. And as Kevin Owens get ready to as Kevin Owens struggling, he realized he has like an out, and kind of slings over, drops for the stunner, right? This motherfucker dropped for the stunner, and Bray essentially ate the stunner. Like, he took the blow and kind of bounced back up a little bit, but still had the mandible claw on Kevin Owens. And just lulled his ass to sleep. I said, ain't this a bitch?
I feel like that's more of a you don't like that he no-sold the stunner.
I didn't like how the super kicks were no-sold. I didn't like how the stunner was no-sold. I didn't like how the pop-up power bomb through an announcer's table was only relatively sold, to the point where Kevin Owens POP'd him into the table and bounced his ass back into the ring for the count out. All of two ref counts passed, and this motherfucker Bray was in by 8. And he was rushing it too. It wasn't no slow to get up. Your man's literally rose up from the table and kind of jogged his chubby ass into the ring. So it was all the no selling that rubbed me the wrong way, if we're being completely honest. However, again, I get it. It was for the sake of the story. And then at the end, you had Alexa Bliss coming out of nowhere after the lights go out and come back on. She's right there, and they're just facing each other, Bray and Alexa. It was weird. It was very weird, but it's supposed to be weird. That's why I liked it.
Correct.
At any rate, Kenny, give me what I need. Put it in my fucking veins.
You got what I need. Coronavirus.
Okay,
That what
shut
you
up.
need?
No, that's not what I need. That's not what I want. That's not. That has nothing to do with the next segment, Kenny. I'm literally trying to softball the segue into your segment, which is my favorite segment. You're busting my balls and stalling.
Oh, you went inside the five.
Kenny. That's right. Let's go.
Oh, I hate to disappoint you. That's not happening.
You son of a bitch.
I just went through this last week. How we're going to take a break through weeks.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that. All right, I guess. All right. Well, with that being said,
I just explain how it's going forward from now on, and you just like, what do you mean?
I'm beside myself right now, my guy. It's bullshit. But, however, I set up a bolski, and we get to our last segment before our final thoughts of the evening, Kenny. You know what motherfucking time it is. 8 successful and aspiring black neighborhoods destroyed by white neighbors. And this week, if I can load this bitch fast enough, that's the one thing I hate. My computer's slow somehow, some way. Brand new fucking computer.
Yeah.
Just downright disappointing, Kenny.
It happens. Once you start using it a little while, kind of. Yeah, it kind of happens.
For being honest, I probably should have been more prepared for this. But here we go. All right. What you said? We'll go with what you said. Fuck that. All right. So I believe this is week 5 out of 8. Because the past rose. All right. So, Kenny, this week we will be talking about the Washington, D.C. race riots of 1919.
Lord.
Kenny, post-war Washington, D.C., roughly 75% white, was a racial tinderbox. Housing was in short supply, and jobs so scarce that ex-dope boys in uniform panhandled along Pennsylvania Ave.
Lord.
It's around the White House, Kenny.
I know.
However, Washington's black community was then the largest and most prosperous in the country, with a small ministers, lawyers, and businessmen concentrated in the Dwight Park neighborhood. Yeah.
I know.
For rape with 4 days of mob violence. They rioted, randomly beat black people on the street, and pulled others off streetcars and attacks. When police refused to intervene, the black population fought the fuck back. Troops tried to restore the order as the city closed saloons and theaters to discourage assemblies. When the violence ended, 15 people had died, Kenny.
15.
However, 10 were white, including 2 police officers and 5 African Americans. 50 people were seriously wounded, and 50 were wounded, and another 100 less severely wounded. It was one of the few times when the white fatalities outnumbered the black ones.
Mm.
Final thoughts?
Not this week. Not for me. I don't have anything.
No. Me? Ah, fuck it. My final thought is this. Over the week, I have had last week's pre-show replaying over and over in my head. And if you didn't catch last week's pre-show, basically Kenny and I discussed the age limit in government, in which I said that if you own an AARP card, you automatically retire from being in the government. I now extend that sentiment to driving. Kenny, you have no fucking clue how many old people I've seen out on the road this week alone, driving 5 to 10 miles under the speed limit of that road, hunched over the steering wheel, staring very hard.
Yep.
Bro, I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. Because it's not only, a selfish inconvenience to me. No. This is an inconvenience to everybody that is on that road in particular at that moment, at that time. Those are the type of people that hold up fucking traffic on the highway. And when you get to a certain point where shit starts speeding up again, you ask, where the fuck is the accident? There was no accident. This old motherfucker was going 45 and a 60.
Jesus.
That's what the holdup was. I mean, listen, man. I get it. One day I'm going to be old and yada, yada, what have you. But on the other side of that fence, I plan on being rich enough, at least, when I get to that point, to where I can be chauffeured to places in a timely fashion. And I don't have to worry about the government because it's not for me anymore.
Well,
I'm just counting my days until my death and enjoying every day more now that I have just my life to lose at this point because I don't have to worry about politics or anything of the sort anymore.
That sounds very depressing.
Does it, Kenny? Or is it like, you know, you're going you're when you retire, you retire. Like you retire from everything, bro. Like all you really need to do every day is kick it, watch TV, and order shit off Amazon Prime using your pension money. Like, I don't know. It just seems reasonable to me. I don't
I'm
know.
saying the way that you said you just waiting to die is like that sounds depressing.
I mean, not waiting to die per se. It's like you still have family. At that point, you're a grandparent more than likely. You just enjoy the fruits of your labor, dog. Like you're here's the realness aspect of it, Kenny. Like this is all a half serious joke, but this is the full seriousness of it. Average U.S. American citizen is working some type of job as early as the age of 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the average American lifespan, or hell, the average human lifespan is 75 to 80 years old, right?
Right.
From the age of 15 to which is projected 55, you're working. Meaning from the ages of 1 to 14 and supposedly 55 to your death, however long that is the time that you're not holding a job and working and paying bills. You're still probably paying bills, but actively providing. So, with that being said, from 55 to 75, you have all of 20 to 30 years, 6, 7. So, yeah, 20 to 25 years to enjoy the rest of your life. And that's hoping, A, you retire by 75, by 55, because some people, well, not even some, a lot of people these days don't even retire at 55 or effectively retire at 55. If they retired at 55, they retired from their career at 55. However, they still probably got to make ends meet some way or another, or to keep busy, they're still working. You know what I mean? So that 1 to 14 years plus the 20 to 25 years, that's only all of 30, maybe 40 years. However, you're working for roughly 45 to 50 years. You're working, if not half, more than half of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, why not make the back end of your life as comfortable, simple, and easy and lazy as possible? This may be coming from a hedonist mindset such as myself, but I just believe that after you retire, you should be able to reap the full benefits of what you spent your entire fucking life working for. Full effect. You know what I mean? Like if you want a like chauffeur to drive you around all the time, you should be able to like be assigned a chauffeur if you choose to, want one. And the chauffeur is being paid by the state or the government. Shit like that. That way, not only that, but you also have more government workers doing regular everyday shit because old people should take a back seat. Not take a back seat, but they should, relax. So I joke that old people need to get the fuck off the road or hire a chauffeur. I joke that, if you have an AARP card, you shouldn't be in the government anymore. But out of all seriousness, after the age of 55, you should be able to enjoy the rest of your life in full effect and not have to deal with or not even have to consider dealing with the mundane activities, mundane everyday activities of a regular average adult, such as, having to drive from place to place to run errands or having to run errands in general. You know what I mean? I would kill to have somebody run errands for me all day while I sit and essentially do nothing. Watch my game shows, Kenny. Kill to. I don't know. Howard, bring it home.
All right. Seeing as how alcohol is subsiding and I'm beginning to crash, let me sit up. Turn my camera on.
Slouching throughout the entire episode.
You can see it in my face. You're just like, nigga, he going through it. Like everything is just wood.
Well, you can see.
My name's Kenneth Whitaker.
So where I'm at.
Anchor Hendrick Solo, the original owner of the Millennial Falcon.
Got nothing for it, huh? All right, fine.
Nope. Not the
I feel you on that. I understand.
Just because it's almost 12:30.
Holy shit! I didn't realize the time was. I was having too much fun.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. That's what we do. Imagine, aka the Last Black Jedi.
I'm staying up till 1:30 tonight. Yeah.
You will buy me that PS5, Sade.
Sade.
Yeah.
Fucking fool.
AKA Mr. Ghost Slick Vodka. To Seth. Woo! Who's Seth? I'm Seth. Yeah. You're another one of me. Yeah. I told you laugh at that one. Those two you had not heard.
God, I love that movie.
I want to watch it again before I go to sleep.
No doubt.
AKA the American Scale, Buster Rhodes. No promo for that. I'm sure Thick Flay is going to talk about me in his.
Yeah, probably.
AKA Nacho Man, I'm a savage. Mean Gene.
Yes, sir.
I need you to break the Slim Jims and get the thoughts out of my locker room. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Nacho Man. I'm a Savage live from his locker room. Will you hosts get out of here?
Hurry up, get him out. Yeah. Will you hoes get out of here? Oh my goodness. AKA the very sexual, the very tight.
Very tight, yes.
Austin Powers Faja.
Wait, is Faja?
Dad is Faja.
Oh. there, pop, there, pop, there.
Dad, I have a surprise for you. Open the tank. Open the tank! Are those sharks with laser beams attached to their heads? You mean I actually have freaking sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their freaking heads? Yes. Cool. Oh man. Hilarious. AKA this black man.
Yeah.
You got to grab your competition by the throat and make a match that has everything on a pole. And it happens where, Carlo?
I don't care. I'm out of here, man.
Tell them where it happens.
Whatever, your office.
In my office. And you. People get the distinct honor and privilege of watching the match live on the WWE Network for $9.99. And you people think it's funny that everything's on a pole, but the best matches take place on a pole, damn it!
They sure as fuck do not.
Ask Vince Russo how great on a pole matches are.
That's the last person I want to ask how great anything is. No.
Vince Russo is your favorite writer, Carlos.
The fuck he is.
You love him. Especially for the Viagra on a pole match.
Heyman's my writer. That's right. I'm a
You
Heyman guy.
people don't appreciate the creative genius Vince Russo is. That's why I sent him to WCW. I'm done.
Yeah, so am I. This is 100. We need to figure out what we're going to do for our tournament episode, Kenny.
Oh, that is coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, quite soon. The next 4 episodes. I don't know, man.
Worst Russo matches?
Shut up. It's 12:20. We're frazzled. Well, I'm frazzled. You're drunk. Let's call it a night. Ah, man, yeah. Let's do that. We're off this.
Damn, we're out.
That was episode 111. We're off this.
We're out.